Yeah, so I have a lot of books on my physical TBR. You guys know how like a few videos ago I was like, new year, new book. I still stand by that. I'm still like, yeah, you know what, new year, new books, treat yourself, treat yourself, treat yourself. I'm not funny. I still believe that, but I don't think that I personally took a look inward at myself, looked at how many books that I have on my physical TBR. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to take you guys through all of my bookshelves and we're going to talk about every single book that is on my physical TBR. It's odd for me because with some of these, they're not like at the top of my TBR to read through, but they're still physical books that I have on my bookshelves that I haven't read. So that's like really what this is, but they are my physical TBR because they are physical books that I have and haven't read yet. So the reason that I wanted to do this video was one, just to see how many books that I have on my physical TBR, but also at the end of 2023, which I don't even want to think about yet. It's literally the beginning of January. I don't even want to think about this. At the end of 2023, I want to come back to this video and I want to see how many books that I read out of my physical TBR, because a big goal that I have for myself is to eliminate a good chunk, a good portion of my physical TBR. Right now I'm trying not to buy a big lump sum of books, even though I did want to do like a birthday Amazon book unboxing for my birthday. But look at how many books I have on my physical TBR. I don't know. Anyway, I am trying to like get myself to not buy a lump sum of books until I get through a lump sum of my TBR. So yeah, I'm just going to take you guys through my bookshelves. I'm going to take you guys through the different areas, sections. So I have like my big bookshelves, which these are color coordinated. I have my mini bookshelves. I have my rolly cart right here, which I use for my monthly TBR. And then we have this bookshelf that's out of frame that is literally just for me to look at all of the physical books that I need to get through. Like that's the lump sum of the physical books on my physical TBR that I need to get through. Let's do this. Let's go through my physical TBR. First of all, I think I'm going to start with the little rolly cart because this is my monthly TBR and I didn't do a January TBR video. I did do a reel over on my Instagram though. If you guys aren't following my bookstagram, you definitely should. I have a bookstagram and my personal Instagram that you guys should be following because I do post content on both of those. So on here we have A Little Life, which I've actually already read. I finished this yesterday. I wanted to annotate it. It was a reread from me, as well as the Cruel Prince trilogy I actually already read, and the reading vlog is already up on my channel for that video. And then we have The Stolen Heir, which I do want to read this month because this goes with the Cruel Prince, House of Sky and Breath, which I've actually also already read. Then we have I'm Glad My Mom Died, which is my book club's book pick for January. If you guys are not a part of my book club, I always have the Discord link down below. I get a lot of questions of people being like, you should start a book club. I've had a book club for close to a year now. What it is we just have a Discord. There's so many different channels and everything that you guys can talk about. Literally there's so much, and I do have to credit my mods for that. My mods are absolutely amazing. You guys can join my book club Discord link down below. This is January's book pick, which is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. The First to Die at the End, Caraval, which I'm actually a little bit through. Guys, I finally picked this book up and started reading it, but I did have to put it down because I started filming like other videos, other reading vlogs. We have Haunting Adeline, Betty, Normal People, Second First Impressions. I had to throw in a cute rom-com in there because some of these books are a little heavy, okay? Then we have Night Road by Kristen Hanna, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, and lastly, A Man Called Ove. This is my January TBR. These are the books that we are working with for this month. So now we're going to talk about my actual bookshelf. There aren't a whole lot of unread books because mostly when I put books up here, it's because I have read them already. And if there are unread books, it's because they're a part of a series. For example, with the Brutal Birthright series, I've read the first 2 books, so those are on my bookshelf, but then we have the rest of them right here. And then I will take this one off and put it over here to this other bookshelf. That way I see, but the majority of the series does stay on the shelf. We're just going to go through these books that I have not yet read that I just put up on the shelf because honestly, if I put them on the shelf, I don't really plan on reading them anytime super soon other than the series. We have Darling Girl, A River and A River Enchanted. Those are 2 of my book of the month books. Then we have My Best Friend's Exorcism, If We Were Villains, and In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. These are both dark academia books that I feel like are highly regarded. Specifically, If We Were Villains, I really want to read this and The Secret History by Donna Tartt. We have The Final Girl Support Group, which I actually got like close to 100 pages in and then DNF'd it. I honestly don't know if I will ever go back to this book. And then lastly for this shelf, we have Sharp Objects and Gone Girl, American Psycho, which I actually did read this for a project in my AP language class in my junior year, but I think I blocked that from memory. Okay, and then we have 2 books in the Centers of Saint series, which is Scandalous and Bane. And then again, I have the 4 other books in the Brutal Birthright series. So we have Heavy Crown, Broken Vow, Savage Lover, and Bloody Heart. Now we're at the blue shelf. Let's see, we have True Biz, Breathless, Things We Do in the Dark, The Lies I Tell, The Lifestyle, Woman of Light. I'm pretty sure these, I've read a good majority of them. We are down here towards the lighter blue books, so I think we just have Riley Thorne and the Blast from the Past and this little stack. The Layover, which is another book that I had picked up but then didn't finish in the summertime because I think I was just reading a lot of books that had the same exact vibe. And while I do love a good summer book in the summertime for a little poolside, beachside read, I just think that I was like over it at that point. So this book was not even bad. I think I'm definitely going to pick this back up. As well as The Roughest Draft, I had just read Book Lovers by Emily Henry and then I picked this up and it was just way too similar for me, so I had to put it down. And then we have Hello Summer by Mary Kay Andrews, another summer read that I didn't get to that I'm going to get to this year. And then we have Bittersweet and The Good Left Undone. Down here, so let's see what we have down here. We have The Family Game, which I think is another thriller, so that's going to be waiting until probably closer to the fall time. We have Pretty Reckless. This is a part of the All Saints High series. We have To Hate Adam Connor, which is a book that I really want to read pretty soon, I feel. As well as One Last Stop. I really want to read this book. It takes place in New York and I just love New York and I love books that are set in New York. Then we have Getting His Game Back. We have Yerba Buena, Vladimir, Don't Cry for Me, Tell Me Everything, The Book of Cold Cases. And then we just have the little Christmas in Quincy novella over here. And then down here we have Rules of Summer, which again, another summer read. Guys, I am so, like, if the book takes place in the summer, if it's a very summery vibe, I am not reading it anytime other than the summertime. I can't do it. I don't know why. Then we have Codename Verity, The Temporary Roomie. Then we have The Holiday Romance and One Last Gift. These are Christmas books, so obviously those will not be read until Christmas. The Vanishing Sarah, Clown in a Cornfield, Jackal, Peach Blossom String, and Like a Sister. That's it for this whole entire bookshelf. We're moving on over here. So up top, I think it's just Angry God, which again is a part of All Saints High. We have Love in the Time of Serial Killers, which I started reading during like Halloween. I'm pretty sure I picked this up in October and I didn't finish it because I just wasn't loving it and I really wanted to. Like, look at this cover. It was so beautiful and I was so disappointed, but I am going to pick that back up honestly probably in February because I do just want to finish that book and see if I like it. We have Meet Me in the Margin, My Body, Take My Hand, Kayaki, The Verifiers, and The Hacienda, and that's it for that little shelf. Then we're over here, which we have The Play because this is a part of Briar U. I'm pretty sure that's the 3rd book. We have Just Like Magic. It's another Christmas book that I didn't get to this year. Riley Thorne and the Corpse in the Closet, Tools of Engagement, Not a Happy Family, Dating Dr. Dill, and By Any Other Name. We have There's Something About Mary, How to Kill Your Family, which is always something that I'm like, whenever I say that book title, I'm like, oh god, I'm sorry. Float, which is another book that I started and did not finish, ladies and gentlemen. When I do monthly wrap-ups, I notice that people tell like the books that they DNF, which I think is a good thing because obviously like you've put those pages in, you DNF that book, you're gonna let people know. But my thing is that I never do. Like, there are so many books that I have started that you guys don't even know that I've started and then just don't pick them back up, or I pick them back up eventually and eventually end up finishing them. Like, there are so many books that I pick up and do not finish. We have Love Her or Lose Her and Unexpected Paradise. Terry Soto is back. I think that's it for that shelf. And then down here we have The Golden Couple, Ghost by Dolly Alderton, which is very high up on my TBR, as well as Killers of a Certain Age is too. We have The Stardust Thief, Hookshot, and then these are the rest of the Kingmaker series. So we have The Heir, The Rebel, The Spy, The Savage, and then we have The Newcomer. And then I think down here the only 2 books that I haven't read, Turn of the Key and The Hunting Party. I was about to say, like, I don't feel like it's that bad, but it kind of is that bad. And then over here, honestly, the only ones on this shelf, because these are like, I have my Mariana Zapata books up here, I have my Addicted Cowboy Sister series, and then we just have some random, like, I wanted to start my classic shelf right here. We have Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice, which are the 2 classics that I have over here that I haven't read. So over here, This little mini shelf is my designated fantasy spot because these are like where I just want all of my fantasy books to live. I think the only books over here that I haven't read yet is Ballad of Never After, because this is the second book in a trilogy, because now it's a trilogy. Only 2 books are out, but it's going to be a trilogy. And then we have The Atlas Paradox, which I bought and then I read like 1 page of and then couldn't pick it back up. The whole entire Harry Potter series that I bought secondhand, guys, don't worry, this was bought secondhand, but I haven't read this yet because I want to do like a whole entire video being like reading the whole entire Harry Potter series, because I have not read a single Harry Potter book or watched a single Harry Potter movie. That always catches people off guard, but I haven't. This was never like my jam as a kid. Tell me if you guys want to see that video, because how bad that you guys want to see that video is how high up it is for me to make it. So if you guys are like screaming at me like, Destiny, please, 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 then I will read it. Now we're gonna talk about this bookshelf. This is literally where the whole entire lump sum of all of the books on my physical TBR, all of them. We have The American Roommate Experiment. Then we have 2 other little rom-coms that I really want to read this year, which is The Worst Best Man and The Trouble with Hating You. I have the first book to the Riley Thorne series, Riley Thorne and the Dead Guy Next Door. Again, I love Lucy Score's Things We Never Got Over, and I wanted to read more of her books, so we have that one. Swear on This Life, Something Wilder, Radio Silence, Unlikely Match, How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days, which I'm actually putting on my February TBR, Accidentally Amy. And then over here we have The Chase. This is the first book in the Briar U series. I just need to do it. Okay, guys, I need to read the Briar U series. We have 2204 Hunter Lane, Kiss Now, Lie Later, Redeeming Love, and The Masterpiece. Another book that I'm reading in February, which is Loathe to Love You. These are the 3 novella bind-ups by Allie Hazelwood. Meet Me Halfway, The Long Way Home, which I cannot read until I read Daisy Hates. Yet another book on my February TBR, which is To Love Jason Thorne. Another book I'm reading in February is 7 Days in June. Then we have 4 Aunties and a Wedding and 100 Other Girls, Hush Hush, Underlock. This is my next Mariana Zapata book that I am picking up. The second book in the Mortal Instruments series, Dirty Wicked Prince, which I have actually picked up, read quite a bit of it, and then DNF'd it. Riot House, which I cannot even remember what this book's about. Much Ado About You. Hey, hon. So nice of you to join me. What are you doing? Okay, bye. Ruckus, which is the second book in the Sinners of Saints. I Fell in Love with Hope. Part of Your World, which honestly I may even get to this month because I feel like I have a lot of like heavier books fantasy read, and that I always need like a good rom-com to help me over that. So we have Part of Your World. The Things We Leave Unfinished, which is a book that I feel like is highly regarded on like Book Talk. Every time I look at this cover, I'm just like, no. We have Ghosted. This is a book that I got freaking so far into, and then I just put it down. Like, I don't even call it DNFing it. I literally put it down because I was on vacation, and I remember like staying up and reading a lot of it, and then I put it down and I woke up and completely forgot that I was reading it. We have City of Girls, The Cellar, another book that I'm reading in February that I'm so freaking excited for, which is The Do-Over. I have the first 2 books in the Monsters and Muses series. So I have Promises and Pomegranates and Vipers and Virtuosos. I don't know. Oh, also I have some random books up here. This is City of Glass, which is the 3rd book in the Mortal Instruments series. And then we have some random books up here. We have Set on You, 10 Trends to Seduce Your Best Friend, which I actually just saw this random like fan art on Instagram, on my Instagram Explore page, and then I bought this book. Like, I know nothing about this book. I just bought it because of somebody's fan art. The Off Limits Rule. And then we have When Gracie Met the Grump by Mariana Zapata. And then, yes, I know you guys are looking at this and a lot of you guys are disappointed in me. And listen, I just can't, like, let me explain something to you guys for a second. My brain, the way my brain works is I will literally focus on something, and it will eat away at me until I do it. And this was just something that was eating away at me. I was like, I just really want to read the Throne of Glass series, especially after finishing House of Sky and Breath. So this is honestly something I'm going to get to this month as well. I just have them all sitting right here. We have Crown of Midnight, The Assassin's Blade, Queen of Shadows, Heir of Fire, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. Also, we have some more fantasy. We have The Priory of the Orange Tree, which this, out of my whole entire physical TBR, this is a book that I am the most scared to read because it's just so intimidating. Then I have all 3 books of the Infernal Devices. We have Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. Then we have these Hollow Vows, which I heard is literally just like ACOTAR. Then we have these Violent Delights and Once Upon a Broken Heart, which obviously I'm trying to get through the Caraval series, so I can get to that book. Down here, Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damaged Glory, which is another book that I'm going to be reading in February. Then we have another short story collection, which is How Strange is Season. Then we have Followers, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, The One, which Bestie Sarah actually sent me, and then we were supposed to buddy read read it and I forgot. Sarah, I will read this in February just for you, babe. Then we have Circe by Madeline Miller. I read The Song of Achilles like 2 years ago. I'm very interested to see what my thoughts are on this book. We have Hands Down by Mariana Zapata. A Love Letter to Whiskey. I don't know why I just said it in that accent. By a Thread by Lucy Score, which is another book that I'm also reading in February. And then last shelf, I have Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. Obviously, I can't read this until I read Ninth House. We have The Reunion, which is another book that's probably gonna wait until the spring, summer months. I don't know why, it just gives me that vibe. Then we have Kiss Her Once for Me, which is again, another book that's gonna have to wait until Christmas time because this is literally a Christmas book. All the Dangerous Things, On the Rooftop, Mile High. Honestly, I don't know why I have Kingdom of the Wicked because I got a little over 100 pages into this book and just really didn't like it. But I do have a very hard time DNFing books, so I do feel like I keep it here. Be like, just pick it back up, and if you don't like it, don't continue on with the series. I have a really hard time DNFing. I should just DNF it and be done with it because I really wasn't enjoying anything about it. And then we have Chasing Red. This was my favorite Wattpad book. Like, I feel like everyone who went through their Wattpad phase like had a Wattpad book that they just kept going back and back to. Mine was literally Chasing Red. I loved this book so much, so I picked it up from Barnes like months ago because I wanted to pick it up and see what I thought about it. And then lastly, we have The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. Those are all of the books on my physical TBR. I will put the number right here. This is how many books that I have on my physical TBR. We are going to see how many books out of these that I have read in 2023. At the end of 2023, we'll check back with this video, see how many books that I read, see how big of a chunk, because genuinely this is something that I really want to do this year, where I just get through a huge chunk of my physical TBR, because I feel like it's really important for me to do, because I feel like sometimes I buy a lot of books get put to the back of the TBR because other books are up top, and I just need to get through them, give them all a chance. And then in 2024 we'll start the year with a declutter and all the books that I haven't got to, and then I'm just like, yeah, let's be honest, I'm not gonna get to those. We're gonna declutter them, and books that I just didn't love, there's no reason for them to sit on my bookshelves when someone else can love them. So we can plan for that next year. So be looking out for that video next year. So exciting. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff that you guys know how to do. I love and appreciate all of you guys. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Listen, don't feel bad about buying books. I buy books all the time. I buy books way too much. I buy books when I'm sad, when I'm happy, when I'm nothing. So I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'm literally probably about to go to Barnes & Noble right now. I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.